imagine the shock of seeing your favorite streaming service suddenly shed its extra label. It's like an old friend ditching a quirky nickname. That's exactly what happened when Apple rebranded Apple TV Plus, dropping the Plus to simply become Apple TV. And according to Eddy Cue, Apple's Senior Vice President of Services, this wasn't just a whim. It was the perfect timing for a change that many fans might not even notice. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this move a stroke of genius simplifying things, or a risky gamble that could muddy the waters with Apple's other products? Stick around as we dive into the details, because most people overlook how this ties into Apple's broader strategy, and it might just change how you think about branding and tech. To set the stage for beginners, let's quickly clarify what Apple TV is. At its core, Apple TV is a streaming service offering original shows, movies, and documentaries, much like Netflix or Hulu. It's separate from the physical Apple TV hardware, which is a box you connect to your television for streaming content. The rebranding announcement came recently, as detailed in a 9 to 5 Mac article, and Q elaborated on the reasoning during a guest spot on the Town podcast, hosted by Matt Bellany. This podcast appearance was particularly noteworthy for its symmetry. Earlier this year, Bellany popped up as a cameo in Apple's series The Studio, and now Q, the head of Apple's TV efforts, is returning the favor by appearing on Bellany's show. It's a fun, interconnected moment in the tech world that highlights how these worlds collide. Q emphasized that the decision to drop the Plus was a team effort across Apple. "We just decided collectively," he said in the podcast. The Plus suffix was initially added to distinguish paid versions of services from free ones. Think iCloud Plus, which offers premium storage and features beyond the basic iCloud, or News Plus, which bundles access to numerous magazines. Apple maintained this naming convention to avoid confusion, ensuring users knew they were opting into a premium tier. For example, with iCloud Plus, subscribers get extra perks like advanced security options and more storage space, all for a monthly fee. But now that Apple TV has built a strong subscriber base and a clear identity as a standalone paid service, Q believes the distinction is no longer necessary. "We all called it Apple TV anyway," he explained, "so why not align the official name with how people naturally refer to it?" And this is the part most people miss. By shedding the Plus, Apple is signaling confidence in its brand's recognition, which could inspire other companies to rethink their naming strategies. It makes the service feel more approachable and less like a bolted-on upgrade. Personally, as someone who got used to casually mentioning Apple TV Plus in chats, I'll admit I'm a bit nostalgic. It had a certain ring to it. But I totally see the logic here. Now, on to a potentially divisive topic. Could this simpler name lead to mix-ups with Apple's hardware? Q doesn't think so, and his reasoning is straightforward. The physical device is called Apple TV 4K, a clear nod to its high-definition capabilities, while the app on various platforms has long been labeled Apple TV. Even on third-party devices, it's branded that way. So, in practice, the streaming service and the box are distinct enough that confusion seems unlikely. But here's where controversy bubbles up. What if you're new to Apple and hear someone say Apple TV? Would you assume they mean the device or the service? It's a valid point that could spark debate among tech enthusiasts. Critics might argue this is a bold move that streamlines Apple's ecosystem, making it easier for newcomers to jump in without parsing extra symbols. On the flip side, detractors could counter that in a crowded market, clear differentiation helps avoid support calls or frustrated users hunting for the wrong thing. Apple appears optimistic, with Q pointing out that subscriber numbers are actually higher than analysts predict, suggesting the service's strength isn't reliant on that Plus crutch. If you're following Apple's trajectory, this feels like another step toward a more unified brand experience, where services integrate seamlessly with hardware. You can catch the full podcast episode here for Q's insights firsthand. As always, we include affiliate links where relevant, like to Amazon for Apple TV hardware. But remember, our focus is on delivering the best information. What do you think? Is dropping the plus a smart simplification, or does it open the door to unnecessary confusion? Do you miss the old name, or has this made Apple TV feel more official to you? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear agreements, disagreements, or even your own stories about Apple's branding decisions.